Hi everyone. I have a Homelite leaf blower that I'll show step by step how to replace the starter pull cord. Just a quick shot of the tools used. I use a universal nylon rope kit that I've used with other yard equipment. Match the rope thicknesses. Looks good. Pretty close. I'll cut off about 44 inches of rope, leaving a little extra that I'll trim off after I'm done. I remove the spark plug, making cranking easier when checking the pull cord after reassembly. I'll start by removing the blower tube and clamp. Both the shroud cover and the blower fan cover will be removed. I'll start with the shroud, removing the 3 screws and the 1 torque screw. Move that out of the way. Next, remove the blower fan cover and start by removing the 1 hex screw and the 3 torque screws. Remove the 2 screws securing the handle. Pull the handle out to get to and remove the 2 torque screws in the housing. Using a utility knife to cut the label to remove the housing cover. Remove the 9/16 hex nut and pull off the blower fan. This flat side I'll use as a guide when reinstalling. Remove the big washer, remove the spacer sleeve. This is a little bit strange, but before I remove the engine, I tape the throttle control knob, lever, and spring, keeping it all intact. I don't want the spring to pop out. Remove the 4 torque screws from the inner housing, and now I can separate the engine from the starter housing. Here's the starter pulley to install the new pull cord. I'll remove the pulley cover plate. I'll use this notch and tabs as a guide for when I reinstall. I'll remove the 2 retaining screws and their brackets and the cord spool. This is the container and spring. In this case, I don't really need to remove it. I twisted masking tape on the tips to make it easier to get the rope through the rope guides. I'll slide the cord through in between there. Use my needle nose pliers and tie a knot on the end of the rope. Tied my knot on the end, tighten that knot. I'll trim the end, leaving about 1/8 of an inch. And I'll light the end briefly, not too close, fusing the end to keep it from fraying. Pull the rope through, pushing the knot in the slot and making sure the knot is flush and not sticking out at all. I'll wind the starter rope in a clockwise direction, about 5 full turns. And on the back of the pulley are a couple notches or cutouts on either side that need to have the loop on the end of the spring to be in between one of these notches. The spring loop on the end should be in between the cutout to catch the loop so it retracts and rewinds. That's seated rather quickly. You may have to move the spool back and forth till it seats. And next I'll just fish the cord through the first starter rope bushing, then through the second rope bushing, That's why I use the masking tape on the ends, make it easier to get it through those bushings. If it retracts, the pulley, notch, and loop are seated correctly. Reinstall the 2 retaining brackets and their screws. Install the handle. I clamped down the starter housing to give you a better view. I push the handle down to create a little tension so the handle doesn't flop over. Pinch the rope as to mark it and tie a knot or 2. Now I can reinstall the pulley plate, sliding in the 2 tabs at the bottom, aligning the cutout and screw. Now I can reinstall the engine, aligning the shaft and muffler pipe. Push back the throttle lever. Quick view here of the throttle lever behind the throttle. These are the 4 screws for the engine. I'll put in the 4 screws for the engine, but I don't tighten the screws yet. It just makes it easier to align all 4 screws and to slide on the fan spacer. Now I'll tighten the 4 screws. Install the big washer. You should have a gap. Align the flat part of the fan to the shaft. Return the little washer, the nut, and tighten. I'll remove the tape. Align the throttle latch with the blower cover. Squeeze in there the strap wire loop. Install the housing screws. Just a quick shot of the housing screws. The 1 5/8 screw and the 3 Torx screws. Next, the 2 remaining housing screws. Install those at the bottom there. Both screws are in. Slide in the handle. Install both the ground wire and the other handle screw. Double check that the throttle is moving properly. Shroud screws next. Reinstall the shroud cover, the 3 screws, and the 1 Torx screw. Last but not least, install the clamp and tube.